All right, guys, I am back from Toledo, Ohio. I competed in the Midwest Edison Clash this past weekend. I'm gonna go over the tournament report that I do after all these events. Pretty large tournament. Like I think 170 players. 8 rounds of Swiss, cut the top 16. A lot of big names were there: Fraser Smith, Eric Shen, Marcus Hayden, a lot of the Chicago guys, Ohio players. And we had a couple of Texans. I think there was like, let's see, five, six, seven people from my channel, and then Mario as well, eight. But he moved to Ohio, so he's not a Texas player anymore. But he's still part of our group, so it was good to see him. I'm gonna go over how. I guess first I'll go over the top 16 for the main event. That was the main event, and there was also a day two 64-man single elimination tournament for a medium-sized Dark End Dragon giant card. Okay, let's go over the top 16. We had 7 Bayou Turbo, 4 Hero Frog, 1 Quick Draw Hero, 1 Ultimate Offering Frog, 1 Machina Turbo, 1 Light Sworn, and 1 GB. And before I started getting the tournament, I'm just going to give a shout out for, Team Texas that all went. The Sheriff Los, Javi the Tiger King, Adrian, who plays Diva Hero, Javi's brother, Randy. They stayed in my room, and then also Gabriel and Ryan and again Mario, who also attended this event. All right, so we'll go with round one. I actually brought 2 decks with me. Some of you guys have been watching the channel, watching me play on stream or on DB. I've been testing a lot of different decks, but the main 2 I've been playing have been Blackwing and Vayu. And I remember the week before, Javi asked me, "What are you going to play at Ohio?" And I told him, "I don't know. I'm playing both decks, and I'm just going to see which one I feel more comfortable with." And I decided to go with Vayu because I felt like I'm gonna make less mistakes. Well, I'm not saying Blackwing is a hard deck to play or anything like that, but I just feel like I know the matchups siding in and out with Vayu way more than Blackwings, and that's why I chose Vayu. And I chose like the night before too. All right, so round one, I get paired against. The only thing I want to mention is the one big change from the deck that I've been using the past couple months is I put Royal Oppression back in my main deck. And the reason it was is because I just feel like Oppression is not the best card against Blackwings and Vayu, but it's like so good against every other deck. And I've struggled in the past against some of the other decks. And Oppression is just a power card, and I felt that Vayu needed it, so I threw it in there. Okay, round one, I won the die roll against Fletcher. I think he told me he's from St. Louis. It was a mirror match, and my memory's a little fuzzy from all these matches. I'm going to try to just go over what I remember. I just remember he won game 1, and I came back and Legacy 2-0'd him. I don't really remember the match that well. I just remember game 3, it was really, really close. This match was tough. I just remember game 3, it came down to where, like, he kept top deck. Like, I deck dev'd him, so I knew his hand, and he kept top decking for Plague, and I needed to draw a Dark Monster off Greffer in order to win the third game, and I was like, and then I drew it and I won. So that's all I really remember. And that was a tough match. All right, round 2, I get paired against Eric Chai from Chicago, playing Blackwings. Again, this is like my 4th time playing him. I did win the die roll, so 2-0 in the die roll so far. Game 1, his hand was weak, I could tell, and then I heavy stormed him. I actually top decked heavy stormed. I think I was still gonna win, but like he was trying to I think his hand wasn't that good, and he set 4 so that I would have to not hit the right card, I think, with Raiko. And but then I drew into heavy, and I was like, it's kind of like that DB moment where I kind of don't want him to know I ripped it, so I shuffled my hand, and then I heavy stormed him, and that was it. Game 2, he opened 1 Whirlwind and eventually drew the second one. And I could have conceded earlier, but I don't know. I thought maybe I could win. It was like a small % chance I could win, and I kept playing, but eventually I conceded, and he beat me with the Whirlwind. And game 3 was close. I remember he hurt me with Kaiku, but I had Burial and Dark Arm, so I was able to win that game. And even the series between he and I don't know what it is. I just always get paired against him every tournament almost. It's just, I don't know, 4 times? It's crazy. All right, so I'm 2-0, feeling pretty good. Round 3, I get paired against Carter. I won the die roll, so 3-0 in the die roll. He's playing Blackwings. Game 1 was really close, and the thing that I remember game 1 was he had a Silverwind, I think he trapped dusted me, so he knew my hand and he didn't want to attack into my D prison. Now he knows I have D prison. Now maybe he forgot I had brain control, but he had two back, or maybe he didn't think that I would go for game with brain control, but I did. So he chose to play around my D prison by not attacking with Silverwind. But then I go brain control. But maybe he thought that I wouldn't go for game, but I did because I checked his graveyard and I think like a D prison and a mirror force was gone. So I was willing to go for game. I was like brain control your Silverwind and attack for game. And actually, game two was close. The only reason I lost was because he had Dark Arm. Like if he didn't beat me that turn, I think he attacked me for exact game two. If he didn't beat me that turn, I was going to drop my own Dark Arm on him the next turn and win. So the second game was close. And game three was kind of like a blowout with Trap Dust Shoot. That's the thing about Blackwings. Like, sometimes they draw Blizzard's dead. Like, the deck can be a little bricky at times as well. Blackwings, remember I Trap Dust Shoot him, sent back his best card, and then he had like a dead Blizzard. And I just quickly won the third game. So 2-1. So great start, 3-0. It's always losing early, kind of like it's just a bad feeling, especially because like this tournament was top 16. So if you lose early and you win out at X2, you're probably not gonna top. Like usually the people who get into top 16 are the people who start off with a pretty good record and then lose late. So if you lose early, you kind of have to go X1. And yeah, Carter, I don't think he told me where he was from. But round 4, I get paired against another YCS champion, Marcus Hayden. Congratulations to him. He got second place in the tournament for those guys who are watching the stream on Sackface's channel. First time I played against him, it was... Now, the thing was... I won the die roll against Marcus. What's interesting is... Marcus is a guy who rotates decks. So when he sat down, I was like, what deck are you playing? Are you playing... Because I've seen him play Vayu. I've seen him play Blackwing. I've seen him play Frog Hero. So, like, I can't predict what he's going to play. But... we were playing a mirror match, and game 1 was just grindy as heck, like just back and forth, and it just came down to like little decisions that he and I made, and we were both kind of top decking, but I just think I just drew a little better than him and was able to win out at the end. And yeah, that first game was tough. We were both just throwing resources at each other. I think he drew Burial, but I don't think I drew Burial. Yeah, it was a tough game 1. But game 2, it's like my hand was slow. Both our hands were pretty slow. And then I lured away and only had one dark monster in his hand, and my hand, and he chose not to dust shoot because he holds the dust shoot. I noticed me, I flip it right away. Some people like to hold it. Maybe holding it's better. I really don't know. And he decided not to chain dust shoot to my allure. If he would have, I would have only had one dark. But it's risky. And then he dust shoot me, and I had no monsters. The only way I could get a monster was my charge of the Light Brigade. So I charge, search Raikou. Eventually he deck devs me. And he sees me draw a Dark Armed off of the allure. Or sorry, off of deck dev. And my hand is like Burial Return. And I remember I had to use Burial, and I mind controlled his Plague to make an Armed Wing, and then make Stardust, and then drop Dad. So I had like Stardust, Dark Armed. And then I returned them, and I deck dev them back, and I just like cleared his board, and it was just, I mean, Burial wasn't powerful. Like I used Burial just to put one Vayu the Vayu that I banished off of Lure, I put it back in the graveyard, but the return and Dark Arm just win games. So, and his hand was also slow. Both our hands were slow. Like the thing that really turned on my hand was the Dark Arm. So 2-0, and like tough bracket already. Like all 4 of my opponents play really well. Like Eric Chai, Marcus Hayden, 2 of the top Chicago players. Carter only made like one small mistake. Like I think he should have attacked me game 1 into the deep prison because he knew I had brain control. But that was it. Outside the other 4, even the Fletcher around what all played well. So I felt good. Tough brackets, but I'm moving on with a 4-0 record. And I just had to go win 2 of the next 4 to make top 16. Round 5, I went up against Michael Moon, who did end up making top 16 with Lightsworn. And the thing I remember about this game is that he was playing Magical Merchant. And apparently my friend Randy told me that they're playing this deck online. I've never seen it before. I've been playing a lot more online on DB Rank lately, but I've never ran into a Magical Merchant Lightsworn deck. And game one, I think I won the die roll. So I won like, I think all 5 die rolls so far. Yeah, I won all 5 die rolls. But like game 1, my hand was pretty good. But what hurt me was that he milled a wolf. I mean, it's just Lightsworn. Like, he milled a wolf off of his recharge, and then he was able to Celestia me turn 1, And it's like if he didn't mill the wolf, it's like I probably win that game. And it came down to where like my only win condition was to deck him out, and he just like overwhelmed me. Milling wolves, drawing cards off of solar recharge. He was like got multiple pot of avarices, and I just couldn't do anything. Like I remember thinking my only way I win is if I deck him out, but it didn't work out. So I lose game one against Michael Moon. Uh, Game two was quick. I don't really remember. Do I remember anything from game three? Not really. I think I blew him out game two. And I think the thing, game three, my hand was bad. And I think I made one small side decking error because I thought that he would keep in his magical merchant. So I sided in deck devastation virus, which I normally don't against Lightsworn. But he showed him that he sided him out. I should have known he was going to side him out. And that was a small error. Maybe I probably still lose. That would have been a one, like the deck dev would have been a different card. And yeah. But I don't think that card would have made a difference. So I get my first loss. So I'm 4-1, which is still fine. I just gotta win. Because my tiebreakers are good. I just gotta win what is it? 2 of the next 3. So round 6, I finally lose a die roll against Tyler Frazier playing Machina Hero, and the thing I remember about game 1 was my hand was slow. I just got overwhelmed by like Stratos and Gear Frame and Miracle. He drew really well game 1, and there was not much I could do. His hand was good, my hand was bad, so I lost there. And then game 2 was really close. It was like a long game. Like I flipped return, I had oppression. He had the MST. I had like a Stardust and Dark Arm, and I remember he soul released me, and it actually hurt me because I had 2 darks in my graveyard, so I couldn't use my Dark Arm because he soul released me. And what happened the second game? I think it came down to where like he MST'd my back row. I had a Mirror Force and a Deep Prison, a Stardust, and something else. And I was afraid of him having Heavy Storm. I was like, did you top deck Heavy Storm? I lose because I was like so low on life points, and I was like, if you have Heavy Storm, I lose the game. So I chose to not negate the MST. I was like, I'm fine. I had still, but he didn't have it. Sometimes it's just what Yu-Gi-Oh comes down to. It's like, are you afraid that your opponent top deck it? But I was thinking, why would he MST here? But I probably should have just negated. But I was just scared of like him top decking, and I lose if he top decks it just because I was so low on life points. But maybe I should have risked it and just negated the. It's just tough, man. But I was still fine. It was still playing out their thing, but eventually it came down to like he made one small mistake. Game 2, I have a Fortress, a Stardust, and a Chaos Sorcerer in defense mode. Also, he drew into Gores, so that's why the game dragged on because I couldn't run over his Gores token. I couldn't run over his Gores token, and then he goes Special Summon Fortress, and he could have just attacked my Chimera Tech for exact game. But instead, he chose to crash into my Stardust and pop my Chaos Sorcerer, so he gave me another turn. And I was kind of like, I remember thinking the only way I win is if he doesn't attack the Chimera Tech. Also, like I remember I said a bunch of bluffs. Like I had a set Rhoda as a bluff, a set Heavy as a bluff, so that he wouldn't try to crash his Fortress into my Stardust. And then I decided to go for game. I Special Summon Grepher by discarding Sirocco. Send my last value to the graveyard. But then he had 2 cards in hand. I think I knew one of his cards was Prisma. So all he had was a Prisma and another card. And then I'm going for game, and he DD Crows me. And I attack with everything. So he's going to lose next turn. He has the top deck Miracle that's only out in his deck. He already used all his Machina Forces. So his only out was 2 Miracles because he had already used one earlier in the game. And of course, he top decked it. Miracle attacks me for game. So that second game was tough. That was a hard loss for me. But it's Yu-Gi-Oh! He gave me a chance to come back, and the second game, because he should have won, but I lost. So I lost 2 in a row. What's funny is round 4, they gave us a lunch break, and I drank an energy drink, and then I lost 2 in a row. Sometimes you just lose momentum whenever you take long breaks like that. I don't know. It's unfortunate. So round 7, I win the die roll against Mark, who's playing Diva Hero. Now, Mark and I, if you guys who actually played at Indianapolis a couple months ago, like what, 2 months ago? Yes, 2 months ago. He was my one loss in Swiss, when I made top 8 at Indy in the Ultimate Time Wizard tournament. So it was my rematch. And I remember game 3, if you guys remember the tournament report, I made one small mistake by not negating the Lightning Vortex with Stardust. But this time I main deck an Oppression. So game 1 was like I just blew him out with Oppression. He goes first turn, Summon Diva, Oppression. And game 2, I just beat him with like Return and Gores. He drew pretty well though. At least I think one of the games he drew well. Might have been game 1, but yeah, game 1 was one with Oppression. Game 2 was one with like Return, Gores. So yeah, I'm moving on with All right. So let me finish telling the story. So round 8, I'm on the bubble. And I lose a die roll. So I went 6-2 in the die rolls, which is pretty good. That's better than 50%. And I get paired against Jake Mattern, who I knew who he was when he sat down. Just because I recognize the name. He's been playing GBs forever. Heck, I remember seeing his name back in the day when I used to play. So I knew it was going to be tough because he knows his deck really well. He's been playing. I say this all the time. That's the benefits of like sticking to one deck. Is like you really master the deck and the matchup. That's why I chose Vayu over Black Wings, because even though I've been playing Black Wings a little bit, I like my side deck's not even ready. So I feel more comfortable with Vayu. I lost the die roll. I was able to win game 1 because he drew no monsters. And game 2 was close. We were both top decking. We were both top decking. And I remember he had a Herc and a Chariot, and I top decked Dark Arm with 3 Darks, and I just had to hope his back row was not a Chariot, and it was. So I special summoned Dark Arm, and then I just lose there. Now, game 3, I knew exactly how he was going to side against me. Like I knew he was going to do triple Dust Tornado. I knew he was going to do like multiple Compulses, so I was trying to play my best around all his back rows, but I made some mistakes, and I don't think I played my best that third game, and he was able to win. And I made one thing that I learned my lesson is with Trap Dust Shoot. I usually don't side it. I don't put Trap Dust Shoot in against GBs, even when I go first. But for this time I did, and it wasn't worth it. I drew it dead. So from now on, even when I go first, I'm gonna take Dust Shoot out against GBs. So I lost, and Jake ended up getting 18. So that hurts me more. Is that he didn't even make top 16. And one thing I want to mention, I kind of made a small blunder against him with Oppression. I just forgot. Apparently, I thought that you could, like, if you had 2 Oppressions face up, you could chain them off each other, but I completely forgot that the ruling was wrong. I messed up. I don't think it mattered that much. I was cooked. He had like insane back rows. That's what my friends told me. You weren't winning that game, so yeah. But like I said, it hurt me more that he didn't top, because I know that I would have caught in. I had really good tiebreakers. But I'm not going to ask my opponents. I know some people sometimes, like if some people, whenever they don't have good tiebreakers, they'll give their opponents a win. But I think he had probably decent tiebreakers because he did get 18th. So I think it was 18th. Yeah. So he just barely didn't have the tiebreakers, but it still stings. But yeah, outside of that third game, I think I played well the entire tournament. It was just a tough run. Like, Marcus Hayden, Eric Chai, Jake Mattern in 8 rounds, brutal. But came close. Yeah, maybe some small decisions. I just needed to win one more game and I would have gotten to top 16. I just had to win one. I won game 1 against Jake Mattern, and then after that, just... I don't know. Sometimes I struggle against GBs. Maybe I need to start preparing for it. But anyways, I'm going to go over... that was day 1. And day 2, we had a 64-man single elimination tournament, and I was deciding on what deck to play. And I decided, I was like, you know what? It's single elimination. I'm leaving the same day, Sunday, so I'm gonna just give Black Wings a go, and let's see how it does. I made a few changes. I took the Reckless Grease out of my deck. I don't think that card's good. So let's go over how this played out. Top 64. I won the die roll against Amber playing Frog Hero. So Amber actually asked me to sign a Heavy Storm the day before, so I knew who she was when she sat down. And game 1 was actually close, and I played Book of Moon in my Blackwing deck, so I think she would have won game 1, but because she was trying to crash her Ab-Zero into my Goyo. If that Book of Moon had been like a Mirror Force or a Defrison or a Bottomless, or Compulse, I lose. But since it was Book of Moon, he couldn't run over my Goyo. And then next turn I go Blizzard, Brio, bounce your Ab Zero. It's not going to activate because it's being sent face down. And then I just OTK'd her. And then game 2, she just didn't draw well, and I overwhelmed. I think maybe I drew Whirlwind. So yeah, Swift 2-0 in top 64. And moving on to top 32 with. Okay, I won the die roll against Amber, and then in top 32 I play against Trevor White, who's playing Black Wings. I lost a die roll, and it was a 2-0. It was close though, but Black Wing mirrors. Even though I remember I'll get there eventually, but yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Black Wing mirror. I remember earlier this year when I played Black Wings at YCS Orlando in the Ultimate Time Wizard tournament. I played against Kevin Wu, and I just remember sitting down and was like, yeah, this guy knows the mirror better than I do. I don't play it that much. I do play Black Wings a little bit, but I'm not really a Black Wing player. I'm more of a known as a value player now. Even though I did win with Frogs, but I think I've just topped more with, but I did have that big win with Frog Hero, but that was like almost 2 years ago. Now I'm more of a value player. I've been playing value for over a year now. I'd say probably for like a year. So yeah, I don't really remember this match with Trevor. I just remember I think game 2 I drew Whirlwind. Game 1, I don't really remember this match, but I did win 2-0 after losing the die roll. All right, top 16. I'm playing against Anthony, who plays GBs. I lost his die roll, so far I'm 1-2 in the die roll. And game 1, he just drew insane. He drew like Test Tigers. I remember I fought back and we're both top decking. He had like no cards and he top deck Rescue Cat and just cooked me. And game 2, he drew insane all 3 games. That's all I'm saying. He drew insane with his GB deck. But game 2, I think he did punt. I remember he had a Herc and he Seki toward me turn 1. And I had like 2 Book of Moons and a Dust Tornado set. He goes for Geyseris. Targets both my books. I chain both my books to his Herc. He negates both. And then he's left with 1 card in his hand and 1 back row. And a Geyseris and a Herc. And I go, Dust Tornado, your last back row, which is Book of Moon. So he had to choose, do I negate it or do I let it go? He chose to let it go. But he should have definitely negated it. I think he went if he negates it. So he definitely threw that game. Because then I go, Shura, Kalute over your Herc. Bring out a Black Wing, make Armor Master, and I slowly won from there. Yeah, he definitely, I think, wins that game if he just negates or doesn't negate the Dust Tornado. And then game 3, I don't remember game 3. I think game 3 he trapped, Dust Shooted me, and I think he sent back the wrong card, and he summoned a DD Warrior Lady, and I had like a Sirocco and a Bora, and he chose to attack over my Sirocco when he had Laquari at 2100. He should have attacked over my Bora, and then he got punished because the next turn I drew Blizzard, and I was able to go Blizzard. Yeah, he chose to banish my Sirocco with DD Warrior Lady. He should have gone for Bora because then he Blizzards me. And then he turned on my Blizzard, so yeah, he definitely punted both games. He should have knocked me out right there, but that's just Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm moving on to top 8. Pull off the Legacy 2-0. Top 8, I get paired against the Rhine from the channel. He's playing Lightshorn. I did win the die roll. Shout out to Rhine. He had a tough bracket. He had to play the Sheriff, Los in the first round. And in top 16, he had to go up against the YCS champion, Ultimate Time Wizard champion, Fraser Smith. So he also beat Matt Kalenda, another Ultimate Time Wizard winner, day 1. So yeah, Rhine, tough bracket for him at this event. And he faces myself. And game 1, I think I did make a small mistake where I had a Shura on the board and he had a set monster. And this is the thing. I filmed Ryanite's deck, 2 of his deck profiles. So I kind of knew his deck. So I was like, I didn't expect him. I knew he only plays 1 Raikou. But I thought, is his set Arceus or Raikou? So I chose to summon Blizzard with no targets for Blizzard and Synchro with the Shura. I should have just tributed my Shura. Or just attacked him with Shura, but I think what I should have done is just a tribute over with Sirocco, maybe, in case a set monster was an Arceus. Because I know Ryan plays Triple Celestia, so I might try my best to play around that. But yeah, I made a small error, and Ryan punished me with Cold Wake, so he was able to win game 1. And game two is just I got him with, I think, fissure. So like, cause I side two fissures, so I was able to like hit him one time for 17, and then I went like blizzard, Sirocco, pump, attack him for a game through gores. So game two was quick. And then game three, I remember I opened my hand. I'm like, my hand is so good, but Ryan's going first. And I was like, I opened Whirlwind and a bunch of cards, but he goes, summon Consecrated Light, and I believe Ryan's only on one. And I was like, oh my god, now. And then I couldn't out the Consecrated, and this is another issue where if I had been playing, I told Ryan this, if I had been playing any other Lightsworn player, I would have kept in my Icarus attacks. But I just know the way Ryan plays, he sides in my bodies, he sides in trap stuns, he only sides one Consecrated Light, so I was kind of like, I'm going to take these Icaruses out. I still have two Cyber Dragons, two Fissures, and two Book of Moons to out Consecrated Light. It's still 6 outs. But he, eventually, I had to like set my mind. Like the only good news for me was that Ryan's hand was also bad. So I was able to stall out. Eventually, how did I run over the Consecrated Light? I ran it over just by flipping Bora, flipping Blizzard, and making a Goyo and attacking him. And then he also heavy stormed me, and I flipped Starlight Road. And what's funny is when I was side decking, I accidentally flipped over my Starlight Road, so Ryan knew I was going to bring it in against him. And yeah, the Stardust helped me win. The Stardust, the Goyo, running over the Consecrated Light. And another thing is I forgot a ruling. I couldn't remember whether you could tribute summon Sirocco over Consecrated. Again, I don't play much Blackwing. Like I was pretty sure that you could tribute summon. I couldn't remember if you had to tribute set Sirocco or tribute summon Sirocco, and I had Whirlwind, but I should have Goyoed his Consecrated Light, but I was like, I don't want to make a mistake. And Consecrated Light myself, but I probably could have won earlier, and then I remember like I Brionic his Beckoning. I had Solemn Judgment, so I knew like he milled both his JDs. All 3 of his Threatening Roars were gone. So I was like, I'm just going to hold the Solemn. Like the only way Ryan wins this game is if he drops a Judgment. Like I'm just going to hold my Solemn for his JD. And I bounced like almost all my cards in my hand to get rid of all his stuff. So he couldn't Celestia me, so he had like no outs. And then he Beckoning Lights, summons JD, I saw him, and I went after that. So tough match. So I'm moving on to top 4 in the 64-man elimination tournament. And I get paired against the Tiger King Javi himself. So top 4 got prizing, which was great. Guaranteed at least an ulti Swap Frog. So yeah, top 4. 4th and 3rd got an ultimate Swap Frog. 2nd gets ultimate DD Crow. 1st place gets the medium-sized Dark End Dragon. So I lost a die roll against Javi. So with Black Wings, I'm like 1 and 2, 2 and 2. So 2 and 3 in the die roll. Javi, I think, actually rolled like an 11 or something like that. So I lost a die roll against Javi. So Javi's the same thing with Rhynide. Like, I know his deck really, really well. And I think what was interesting is Javi kind of got a brain fart because he's so used to me playing Bayou Turbo. And I remember I go like, set a monster, set 3 back rows. He has a Laquari and 1 back row. And he thought I was playing Bayou because I always, most of the time, I'm playing Bayou Turbo. And he didn't attack me with Laquari. He chose to set 2 back row. And then I go end phase. I have Solemn Judgment. Go end phase Icarus. Pop your 2 new back rows. And then I just like summon Sirocco, attack. He bottomlesses. I saw him. And I slowly went after that. And I remember Javi told me, man, I thought you were playing Bayou. And I'm like, no, I decided because he saw me day 1 playing Bayou. And then day 2, I switched to Blackwing. So, and then game 2, his hand was just really, really slow. I just special summon Cyber Dragon and just overwhelmed. I remember he had a bottomless. Oh no, he goes set a monster, set bottomless. So I space his back row, it's bottomless, and I go special Cyber Dragon. And I'm thinking, did you set the 1-hop Promise? And I think since he set bottomless, I was like, there's a chance that that's not a Hippopotamus. It's probably a Bestiari or something. I attacked him and it was Bestiari. And I just slowly won. It was a pretty swift 2-0, so sucks. I had to knock out Rhynide in top 8 and Javi in top 4. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't be in the finals, but at least one of us is guaranteed to play for the Dark End. And in the finals, I go up in the mirror match against Jason, playing Black Wings, lost a die roll. So 2 and 4 in the die roll, so it kind of balances out. So 14 rounds, 6 and 2, 8 and 6 in the die roll out of the 2 days. And This finals match was actually on stream. It was on stream after the main event finals. They told us they were going to get us on stream. And game one against Jason, actually, he and I played in War League last season. I actually beat him because he made a small mistake. But like game one, I think I played fine game one. I just drew really bad, and he drew really well. He had like Heavy Storm, Triple Sirocco. Like, yeah, my hand was awful. Uh, he just cooked me game one, and game two, I opened Whirlwind, and then he blew me out with deck dev. And I remember one guy in the stream was saying that I made a few mistakes, and honestly, I don't know how to play the Blackwing Mirror perfectly. Like I'm not. That's why I didn't play the deck day one. I actually would have felt more confident if I had made the finals and I was playing Vayu and he was playing Blackwings. I would have felt really confident because I remember when I beat Javi because it was so quick. I was watching the top four match. It was Gary Yu who was a RBT champion. He's won an online one and an in real life one. And he was playing against against Jason's Blackwing deck. And I was thinking, man, I'd much rather face Gary because even though I don't play as much Blackwing, I know the Blackwing and Vayu matchup. So like that one is I'm gonna have a much easier time playing against Gary than a Blackwing Mirror. But Gary lost, and I played against Jason, and I don't know what people side in the Blackwing Mirror, and also my side deck wasn't optimal. I just threw this deck together and decided to, like I said, I didn't feel confident enough to play it in the main event. So, but I was still able to make the finals, and I got blown out by deck dev. Could I have played a little differently? Sure. I just wasn't sure what people side in the Blackwing Mirror. Like I know Blackwing players side in deck dev against Vayu. I wasn't sure if they sided in the mirror match, but I got blown out. Yeah, that's something. If I do continue to play Blackwings, I need to play the Blackwing Mirror match a little bit more. But here's my prize support. This is what I got. This unlimited DD Crow. And thank you everyone for watching me on stream. I had a blast at the Midwest Edison Clash. I was this close from getting that medium-sized Dark End, but oh well. We'll see. Next event I will be attending will be RBT Denver and RBT Chicago. Those are probably the last two events that they've announced this year. So I'll be at both of those. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the tournament report, and I'll see you guys next time.